we are live. Okay, it is what is today? Wednesday? Thursday? I can't remember.
Wednesday, for sure it's Wednesday.
Wednesday. Wednesday, 3/11/2026. How's it going, John? And how's it going, Pete?
It's going good.
Sweet.
Good.
Thanks for joining us again, Pete. For any future watchers or people that later care, Pete is actually a coder and developer, somebody that knows something, and he's actually messing around with AI. And since it's what everybody is talking about, and there's a lot of different talks about what AI can do for markets and how there are already so many of them out there doing all these things, and I catch so much stuff like that, and I'm like, well, what actually is going on? Like I have looked into a little bit, but I don't know how to code, and so I've looked into like utilizing an LLM to help me vibe code some Python scripts that I can then plug into something like in8n, which I don't know if I'm saying that correctly, but that's literally in8n is a deal. You don't have to know how to code, and you can kind of like plug modules, you can plug AI into it, and you can do all this stuff. But when John told me that you were actually messing around with AI agents and like actually developing something, I was like, oh yeah, I want to hear what he has to say. So without further ado, Pete, why don't you tell us what you are working on and how it works?
Sure. I'm not really working with AI agents so much, because
Oh,
that's like a subcategory of the LLM thing. Um, I mean, I do use agents occasionally when I need, like, if I just want like a whole bunch of data gathered, scraped across the internet, and then to put together like a report or something, then I use it for that. It basically just does all the work for me. But I guess that's not necessarily true. I do use agents in the coding aspect. So, um, yeah, yeah. So I actually just went against what I just said. But so let me I'll just share what I'm doing
oh yeah,
here.
here, let me. Do I have to do anything?
Do I have access to share?
You should in the Zoom.
Okay,
Um,
let me see.
should just be a green button on the
Share
bar that says
button.
share. Yeah.
All right, cool. Okay, so sharing. So right now, so I've been coding this. Like basically, it's a Hyperliquid bot, and if you're familiar with Hyperliquid, it's a decentralized exchange that runs on the Hyperliquid blockchain, and it is. I'll show what that looks like here. Basically, this. Like right now, I'm in the middle of an oil trade, which so yeah, there's commodities on the blockchain, right, which is awesome.
Sure.
And I just took profit right here on this oil trade, and I just set another take profit point up here.
Decent,
Um,
a little bit of a strong word. I mean, it is on chain. Like Hyperliquid, Hyperliquid started out with 4 validators,
yeah, I
and
mean
now I think
it's
they have like 20. It's about as decentralized as BNB chain,
right. I mean, as far as chains go, it's relatively centralized. I mean, very centralized actually.
but it is on chain. And like you connect to it through Arbitrum, like a USDC. You can transfer, you can bridge USDC from Arbitrum to get to it.
Yeah, yep. And it's super performant, and it's really nice for trading. But anyway, so this is the uh, D app basically that I'm working with.
Sure.
And the way I do that is via Python, which is this big pile of code here. That's all the test runs and stuff. But the main code is in here. I got a whole bunch of different. I mean, within each one, I have. I mean, it's pretty involved. Um, so what I do here is I use ChatGPT, the actual the LLM, to kind of architect things.
Do you
Like
use
I
a?
just
Sorry to interrupt. Do you use a paid version or the free one?
I use the $20 a month version
Okay.
for
Do you find
ChatGPT.
that that's like significantly better?
Yes, because I wouldn't be able to do what I'm doing at the rate I'm doing it
Okay.
without a paid version.
Got it.
It would cut me off
Oh,
after like 20 chats,
so it's
and
basically
then
for the microtransaction, like the tokens that you can use for.
yeah,
Okay.
it gives you just more time and more chats. You can, I mean, it just yeah, it
Got it.
I would work for like an hour and then I'd be done, and then I'd be like, okay, I got to do that. Wait until tomorrow to do it.
Right.
When I
Got it.
code, I tend to just want to do it in one big chunk.
Sure. That
So
makes Makes sense. When you feel like doing it, you'll do it until you don't feel like it anymore, and then you really
Right.
don't want to do it for a while.
Yeah, which is usually when I'm sleeping or something. But anyway, so I use the LLM, the ChatGPT, the main one, to kind of architect things, to decide. And if this thing is making noise in the background, let me turn this off. Simply, I have another. Anyway, this is a. I got 15-second granularity on Bitcoin here, and it just beeps at me all the time. So I'm gonna mute this if I remember how to do it. There we go. All right, cool. Okay, so yeah, so I use the LLMs to kind of architect things, design what I want in terms of the bot, design all the features uh, in the LLM, and we kind of go back and forth, and it's like having an architect buddy who understands how to code and how to do things properly, right?
Hmm.
Um, and I design it there, and then and then I have this other thing, which is this is Visual Studio Code. It's a Microsoft product. It's an IDE, in other words, an integrated development environment where you develop code.
Okay.
And it integrates with Chat Codex right here, right? If you see the Chat GPT
Yep.
symbol,
Yep.
that's Codex. So, and Codex has access to all my files here,
Okay.
um, in a relatively safe way. I think it just has access to this folder. Um,
Okay. So you give it access to the parts of your code that you want it to have.
yep. And then so the thing is, Codex is kind of dumb, and it will just randomly make up crap. Like if you tell it to
Hmm.
just make code that does this, blah blah blah, it'll make it, but then it'll add a whole bunch of other things you didn't ask for, and then yeah, and it can also break itself, which is horrible. That was my first experience. So I'm on version 3 of the bot because the first one was horrible. The second one was like okay, but it was just a spaghetti code. And then so this it was an exercise in learning how to work with the LLMs and codecs and whatnot. But so I basically force it using these files here: agents, MD, design contract 1 and 2, and then the module contract. So I basically say, hey, here's the rules, buddy.
Okay.
you know, it's just a machine. It's and it just pays attention to the rules, right?
Sure.
You tell it to do something that it's not allowed to do, and it'll say, yo, 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 I'm not allowed to do this, which is awesome. That means it's doing, I'm doing, telling it correctly. So yeah, I design it in the LLMs, bring it over here. So I have the LLM ChatGPT, the main one. I have it create a prompt for me. So
Okay.
I literally just go in here, and you look at like my last prompt was. Oh, and yeah, I never haven't done any like formal prompts on this recently, but basically you can get a perfect prompt from ChatGPT and then just paste it in here, and then it'll just boom create the code for you.
Okay.
Like right here, it just changed some code. Here also changed code in an automated fashion, which is awesome. Um, yeah, so that's how I develop the stuff, and then there's a testing here. I have 569 tests for this bot. Um, this one right now is running some machine learning to look. If you look closely and look at Doge perp,
I see it.
um,
Yep.
and then there's time frame 1 hour, fast and slow. These are EMAs,
Okay.
exponential moving averages, 3489. So it's just changing all these parameters, and then testing all these different iterations and whatnot, hoping to find something that works, and is doing it for each asset to find hopefully a sweet spot for each asset, so then I can have a like basically a plan for each asset. So it'll have its own custom AI designed set of triggers, right?
Okay.
It's not going to be running AI at this point. It's not like it'll change things on the fly yet, um, but that may come later.
Okay. So you're utilizing AI to kind of test like say like a trading strategy or look for an edge in some way and like learn the edge and then like start using it essentially. Is that right? Do I understand what
Yeah,
you're saying?
yeah. I mean, it's not quite AI at this point. So what it is machine learning, which is, it's kind of that's like the Lego pieces of AI, if that makes sense. AI uses tons of machine learning, and I guess it's like a precursor to AI. AI is where it kind of uses it has a kind of a mind of its own, which uh, I do not. So I'm the mind, and I do go back
Okay.
and forth with the bot or the chat, and you know, but it has helped me do really deep tests and stuff like that. So
But I mean,
anyway,
I guess what I'm asking though, like, and I think I understand what you're saying, and but I guess part of my question was, okay, so you're having the machine learning try to figure out an edge or a strategy, is that right?
yep, yeah,
Okay, and then
yeah.
you,
And this is I'm starting real simple, like an EMA, and then uh like a I'm using trailing stops as well as an ATR based trailing stop and whatnot. So it's super simple, and I may get more complex. I may have to get more complex at whether or not is profitable or not. If it's not profitable, then I could. So I have it all. Uh, there's a lot of logging and diagnostics and metrics built in. So depending on what this test comes up with, right, I'll know whether it was had a problem exiting, like it exited too quickly or too late,
okay,
or whether it entered bad, or it'll give me some idea as to where the issue is, and then based on that, then I can optimize things and just keep iterating around this. Unfortunately, this has taken several hours, so the iterations are a little slow.
got it.
What is ATR?
uh I forgot what it stands for. It's um let me just pull up this average true range. Yeah. um it is a volatility metric.
Also,
um
a technical indicator.
Yes, technical indicator. Yeah, it's ATR. Whoops. Average true range. Yeah.
Okay, so the average true range is a measure of how much a market might move in any given session, calculated by averaging movement over a set time frame.
Yep. Yeah, it's commonly used with bots because it's relatively easy to work with. You can't use it. You have to alter it a little bit, because if you have like Bitcoin versus some small stock, the ATR is going to be wildly different. So you have to like normalize it using like a percentile or something like that. So, but yeah, it's a volatility metric. So depending on the volatility, if it's super volatile, your stops are going to be looser. So then you don't get stopped out right away on a wick. And then if it's not volatile at all, it'll have real tight stops, and it'll adjust depending on how volatile it is. But
Interesting.
that's the basics.
That's pretty cool. I would imagine you could probably choose a different volatility indicator if you wanted, or even just use different indicators other than volatility if you wanted to, too, I'm sure.
Yep.
Is
Yeah,
that
you
fair
could
to
use
say?
Bollinger Bands or Bollinger Band width, for example,
Hmm.
would be a good one. Um,
BBWP,
what was that?
the BBWP, the Bollinger Band Width
Yes,
Percentile. Yeah.
correct. Yep.
Yeah. And so you can, yeah, you can pick that. Could you like say use multiple, you know, indicator strategies like like look, could you have the thing look for confluence between two different metrics, for example?
You could, and a lot of times there may be benefit to doing that. Actually, I shouldn't say a lot of times. There are a few times where that would be beneficial. Most of the indicators are almost the same thing, if that makes sense.
I
Um,
mean, I guess I don't know enough about what the different indicators do. But I got I'm you coming from a really layman perspective, right? Like I don't understand the math. Like I don't know how the charting works. I don't know how the coding works. Um, but I do understand kind of some of the very simple trading strategies. And so for me, it was kind of since the thesis for me is that I need to learn how to utilize this sort of technology because that's the direction that everything's going.
mhm.
A lot of people will tell you that that's the a majority of certain markets already. Um, and then yeah, like also like the with the markets, I mean all of them going toward, if not already there, at a 24-hour trading. Like you just it
Yep.
seems like you're kind of purposely kneecapping yourself if you don't have something that's keeping a trade going all the time if you're
Yeah,
trying to do that stuff. So anyways, that's why I want to learn this stuff.
sure.
But yeah, like I actually, it's funny, I recently at work there's been a big push for like they want everybody at work to like learn to use AI, right?
Uh-huh.
They want it to be a force multiplier. And
Sure.
we're like I'm in sales, so everybody in my area is pretty safe from it at the moment. And a lot of people think that that's one of the few professions that might actually not get touched too hard. People still like to talk to people. Um,
Right.
but anyhow, like it allowed me to to like convince my my IT department to let me put Python on my work laptop and start trying to vibe code a data scraper to help me read articles and have them sent to me as an audio file, so I don't have to actually read them. And that was how I started kind of getting into learning this stuff, and that's where I had to have like ChatGPT tell me how to get Python onto my computer. You know what I mean? But so
Yeah.
like I look at like
But
I
you
know.
learned. I mean, you were able to do it, right?
Yeah. It's
Yeah.
hilarious. It's as soon as I told my boss was shocked. She was like, "I can't believe they're letting you put all that stuff on your laptop," and I was like, "They already have it on theirs, right? Like these people are like, hey, they're one of us." So, anyways, yeah, like it's allowed me to kind of learn some of that stuff, and so it's really cool to see what what you're actually doing and how much more of this stuff you're actually doing. Like I have no idea how you created the this testing environment that you've got running here. Like, how did you even make this test?
I had ChatGPT do it.
Okay.
I'm like, as one of my
Oh, oh shit. My internet.
start and provide initial account state for tests and diagnostics.
Sorry
Yeah,
about.
stream regression tests, and then these tests, basically, yeah. So basically, just tell it to do tests.
Cool.
Um,
I actually missed most of
but
what you said there because my internet got unstable for some reason. So
oh,
I'm plugging in my laptop instead of using Wi-Fi.
yeah. Basically, I just had ChatGPT and Codex create the tests. I had ChatGPT.
Just for Bitcoin, or is this like can you use this from
No,
any asset?
it'd be for right now. I have like maybe 10 or so. Let me see which ones I got. It's right here. Yeah, Aave, ABAX, BTC, Doge, ETH, Hype, Link, Sol, XRP, Zcash, and ZRO for whatever reason.
And so what is it that what is different? Why do you need to do all those individually, for example?
I chose these because just trading one asset would be really boring for the bot. Um, because you can only have one position really open at a time.
Hmm.
So, I mean, you can add more to like a Bitcoin trade, for example, if you wanted to. Um, but
How,
from a yeah, so it's basically to maximize my capital so I can
okay.
have multiple trades going at once.
Gotcha. So you couldn't, for example, have like one bot that does, say, a perpetuals trade and then a spot trade
I could,
to
yeah,
like to do like a delta neutral type of extraction.
yeah. Those are actually some pretty solid strategies. I have not done that
But you
just because of
could
the
so like you could do two trades with that one asset, just not like because you what do you use like are you using like an exchange for this? Or would you use it?
yeah the exchange is hyper liquid, so
Oh,
it
that's right.
is.
You tell it's a yeah the D app. Yep, that's right. I
So there
forgot.
is a spot version of
Hmm.
this. I mean, you can go. They have a perps. Here's all the perps they have. They also have like silver, gold, Nvidia. You know,
Right,
uh, which is pretty cool. This is basically S&P 500,
right.
but they also have a spot, and a lot of these are total little schism and nizzle coins, if you know what I mean.
Hmm.
Um, like some of these are just super tiny. Like the total market cap is like 30,000. Like trash coins, right?
What
Shit
ones
coins per se.
that you can go move the market on?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, you don't want to do that really. You could. I mean,
I mean, maybe you do. Like, I don't
you
know.
could. I mean, you could start a bot that starts to move the market, and then if it starts pumping, then you just dump it. I mean,
Exactly. Once you,
yeah, that's
if you can move the market up X percentage, sell everything.
you could do that, yes. But I guess I have a
That,
conscience,
yeah,
so
that would make you a bad person.
yeah, and they may eventually ban me if they notice something like that going
Sure,
on potentially.
sure. Well, not then you just flood the zone with a bunch of bots that are doing lots of little transactions.
Yeah, I'm not looking to just extract money from every human on the planet, sir. So
Well then, all right. Well then, we just need to start targeting better. Then
sure, yeah,
I'm kidding. This seems like this got dark real quick. Um,
yeah, it did. It wasn't me though.
no, you're right. It was me. I'm definitely dressed in black. Um, well, no, that's cool. So, yeah, like, how long have you been, like, kind of working on this?
uh, Almost a year from when I first started. Um, but this most recent version, probably a month or so.
Okay.
And I'm not even to the point where I'm trading live on the exchange yet. I'm still doing paper trading
Okay.
because I'm trying to not
You want to,
blow money because
right? Don't want to waste it.
it'll eat through my money if you don't have it tuned properly.
Right. Well, and that's kind of, I guess like looking at everything that this is, I'm like, oh man, that's a lot. Like the data scraper I built that sends an audio file to my email is a lot less
Hmm.
complicated than this. Um, so that's why I guess I'm like, well, man, I'm wondering how long it would take me to work on something like this. Is there, would you say that it would be reasonable for, someone way more novice like myself, to build something that was far less complicated that could still, be somewhat effective? Or
I
does it need all this in order to like, you know what I mean?
I honestly don't know.
Okay.
I want to say anything that someone just vibe codes that doesn't know anything about coding and or trading in intricacies, I think it would just not go well. It may you may get lucky a couple times, but over time, I don't think it's gonna be like overly profitable. That'd be my guess.
Okay. Cool. Um, well, yeah. What else does so can you explain any more about like anything else that this does, or have we gone kind
Sure.
of over it all?
Yeah, right here I'm pulling I have a live web socket I have a script that's running in the background that's pulling all the data, all the candles from Hyperliquid. So for example, I have 19,954 1 minute candles for BTC, and every time a candle's created, it'll get pushed to my database basically.
Cool. And that is to help you with like analyzing,
Correct.
all the different moves of the market.
Yeah. So what you don't want to do is smack the server every time you want to, look at, hey, is it ready for a trade? Hey, are we ready for a trade? Hey, are we ready for a trade? Like this, yeah, the exchange it'll eventually block you. You'll get a 429, which I ran into a bunch. Um,
Like
if you,
they're saying you're spamming us with
yeah,
Okay.
yep, they will. I mean, and they're pretty hard limits. You're limited to like a couple of second maybe.
Okay.
Um, but WebSockets is one solid connection, and it pushes to you, so it's less work for the server basically. So and it's just a solid connection that's always on.
Okay.
And then I just have a script that connects to the WebSocket and then subscribes to like the candle service, and
Okay.
then but there's other things you can do like um, you can do pull other data from the web services like or WebSockets, like the order books. Let me show you an
Sure. So
example.
yeah, right.
You know what an order book is?
Yeah,
This stuff.
of course, yeah.
So you can also have all that streaming to your computer
Right.
live. So like when it wants to place a trade, it'll know, okay, maybe I should go here.
Sure.
Yeah, it's really noisy, obviously, but
But
yeah,
it's
it's pretty.
it's noisy for like me to watch, but it's not really noisy for a bot to watch, I feel like, right? Like that's kind of where what they're really good at, isn't it? Is just kind of that looking at all that data and coming up with an answer fairly quickly.
Yeah, I think so. I'm gonna sneeze, I think, but
Okay. Well,
yeah.
Gesundheit.
Oof. All right. Yeah. So I don't know. That's the gist of it, and I'm hoping to be up and running within the next couple weeks.
Okay, so you who have a fairly, healthy background in this type of stuff, you made one of these in, this most recent instance, and I realize you've done a lot of prep work for about a year, but from this most recent start to, ready to go, you're thinking maybe 2 months?
Yeah, I mean, it could probably be done in a weekend if you really know what you're doing and if you just totally focus.
Hmm.
And you know, but I'm going about it in a kind of a really geeky way, using machine learning to make sure that all the back testing is done properly, and I'm not like because my history, the bot number one, bot number two were
Hmm.
basically money losers. They just like throwing money out the window,
Right.
So
And it was because of a flaw with the way that the bot ran?
yeah, yeah. I mean, there was the first one I don't even remember. The second one was a lot of spaghetti code. Like things were different modules were fighting with each other, trying to determine where stop losses should be.
Okay.
And so I got that down to where there's just, there's only one. Yeah. So that one happened going forward.
Got it.
Um,
Well,
so
cool, man. I really appreciate you kind of walking me through this because it really shows me like how much goes into something like that. Yeah,
yeah, and I have like stuff like this. Like once I do these runs, I'll get like an equity curve. So I started here with $1,000 in this particular trade or whatever it was. I made 1850 in 2 days. But this this is not realistic. I think this was without trading fees.
okay, sure.
Um, so, but I can make
Well,
you
but I
know
mean, if you're using limit orders and you can probably
you can
depending. Well,
minimize that.
I mean,
Yeah,
I guess I don't know what hyper. I've never used Hyperliquid, so I have no idea what their fee structure is like. But yeah.
yeah. And this one was interesting. These heat maps are kind of cool. This kind of tells you this one had the best profit factor right here, and that is the 34 versus 89 for the EMAs,
Okay.
and it did one of those for each of those different time frames or whatever. There, it's moving around. Hold on,
When you
it's
say
big.
EMAs, are you talking about like when they cross or like what? I guess I'm not sure what's the
Yeah,
strategy with the
so
EMAs.
you can use EMAs for a couple things. A crossover would be a potential trend, or maybe a trend has already a trend reversal has already happened.
Hmm.
Or you can also just use it as a continuation signal. Like if you have two moving averages, let me just add some here on here. Um, you can have uh, them in parallel. So like if the two moving averages are in parallel, that's considered like an uptrend, right? As long as the short one is above the long.
Hmm.
So this will be like an uptrend, uptrend, uptrend. And if this orange line went down below the green, that would be considered, hey, you might want to consider getting out. I probably would have gotten out by then already because this
I don't actually
EMAs are
see.
lagging.
I don't actually see the
Oh, am I
EMAs
not
at all.
sharing?
I
Oh,
I've got your like your script stuff in your bot.
oh, yeah. Let me. That's a yeah. Okay, that's I know why. It's because it anyway. So yeah, so you can use EMAs for trend reversals and or continuity or continuation. Um, if they're both parallel, basically, then
Sure.
it's a continuation.
Got it. Got it. Okay. So that I just wanted to make sure that I understood what you were because you mentioned it a couple of times, but I was like, oh, so that's like your like part of your momentum strategy.
Yep, I'm gonna
Got
stop
it.
sharing.
Cool. Well, I again, yeah, man, I really appreciate that. That gives me a lot of insight because I feel like and maybe I'm crazy, but I feel like people are like pretty soon it's not going to be like I'm going to be lagging behind people because everybody's going to be using AI so much. So I'm trying to
Sure.
not like lose too much ground. Like I feel like at my age, I'm at the age where like I was one of the I went through a lot of technological change in my early years, and I was able to kind of pick up on a lot of it as it came at me because of that. And as a result, I feel like I still am pretty good at picking up on new stuff, but the older I get, the more it seems like, well, maybe not. Things are because the technological, advancement is like exponential, right? Like all of a sudden it's like, holy shit, we're gonna have flying cars. Like we already do have flying cars. Like we have
Yeah.
we have people that are making personal craft that you can fly without a pilot's license. And
Yeah, we have,
it,
like,
what's that?
I've seen them. We have them in
Yeah,
China specifically.
they're here. They're here. They're in the United States. Like
They're just like little mini helicopters or large drones that you can sit in.
some of
Yeah.
them, some of them are pretty pretty rad. There's one of them. I can't remember which one it is, but it doesn't look like a quadcopter at all, right? Like it looks like a real sleek like motorcycle in the sky.
Nice.
So,
Oh,
anyways, yeah.
yeah,
What's
motorcycle is a good way to do it. Less weight,
hmm Yeah, it's kind of like that's the
flying motorcycle.
right
Sound
that
like the Wright brothers, man.
yeah. So, anyways, yeah, I really appreciate you coming on and show us that. John, did you have any thoughts that you want to share?
No, I was mostly just doing the dishes. Um, I mean, yeah, I agree with you, Jack. From what I caught you just saying there in your kind of summary, trading is probably going to go the way of AI, and maybe long term investing will as well. Where, like, right now, a lot of people pay for financial advisors. Maybe in the future, you just get the Chat GPT financial advisor plugin or
Sure.
the Claude financial advisor, whatever. They'll just probably have brand names. You just fucking buy the AI bot, and the AI just bought you, just invest for you. You just throw money at it, invest for you, or trades. I mean, right now, I think people who are uh, profitable traders or who can access a profitable trading strategy and then automate that with I think will do well for now before other people figure out how to do those things. And I mean, I never wanted to be a trader exactly anyway, even though I do constantly fucking trade. But I'm more into like the long term investing thing. But already, BlackRock has Aladdin, which is some computer that tells BlackRock what to invest in. And it basically tells it to invest in everything from what I can tell. But like, so I don't know. Yeah, I mean, this is definitely, I don't know, dude. Like, I've just seen AI take over like everything I've done in my life, dude. Like, first it was chess and then checkers and then backgammon and then go and then poker and then driving and I guess trading. Sure, whatever. I don't know. So
Yeah.
mostly I hate it. That's my 2 cents.
You mostly just hate it.
Yeah.
Oh, that's too bad. I mean, I don't know. I think it's pretty cool. I guess I don't know. We'll see about whether it's a net positive or a net negative in the long run. They say that people that utilize LLMs on the regular are losing intelligence. They can't think as well. So
Well, I mean, you're right. Like, it's coming. Whether I hate it or not, whether I like it or not, this is the way things are going.
yep, that's
And so I don't know.
it's. I mean, it's just like the internet, sort of. Well, I guess maybe it's not just like the
No, it's
internet,
exactly like the internet. Like,
but
I don't
it's.
even like social media, but everybody else does. So if I want to like get with the program, I got to use social media.
I guess what I meant is that there's no undoing it, right? Like you put something like
Right.
that out there,
Right.
and
If we don't do it, someone else is, and we don't want to be on the losing end of that trade.
yep, yep. That's yeah. You touch on another good point, which is that there's a lot of people that believe, and more than likely, I can see why that whichever we'll call it global power, uh, has the best AI will basically retain power the best. So,
Well, yeah, the major AI race right now is military.
right. I mean that will, and I have some firsthand experience with defense contractors that utilize a full autonomy stack to run ground units, you know, autonomous mobile robots that are, powered by machine learning and AI to make decisions on where to go, how fast to go, when they need to avoid an object versus run right through it, how to like take certain positions based on things that they interpret, like, oh, there's an enemy drone over there. Um, you know, Vehicle A will need to move to high ground so that it can launch a counter drone, while vehicle B will need to take cover behind this thing because it's, trying to search for, whatever. Like it's like that stuff's real. Like it's already there. These guys, I'm going to be careful what I say here because I am under an NDA. But like I wouldn't be surprised to learn that they're using that stuff like today for real. I wouldn't be surprised at all to learn that. I don't know that, but you know what I mean? Like it's
Well,
already there.
yeah, I mean, Ukraine is kind of a battleground between the United States technology and Russia's technology, and Iran is going to be a battleground between the United States technology and China's technology.
Why do you say that?
And maybe Iran, or
Because
maybe
China
Russia.
gets their oil from Iran, and they want to keep getting their oil from Iran.
But I mean, okay, why did you say their technology though?
You know, drones and shit. Like, I, I mean, Iran likes to say they make their own technology, but I don't know if I trust that. I
Oh, you
wouldn't.
think they get it from China, you're saying?
Yeah, I think
Okay,
so.
understood.
That would make the most sense to me if I was China, and I would be wanting to militarily protect Iran, just like the United States, quote unquote, protects the other Middle East countries. You know, so that they sell their oil in dollars. Well, Iran doesn't sell their oil in dollars, which is why we're bombing them right now. But um, they sell their oil to China. Most of their oil goes straight to like 87% or something of Iran's oil goes to China.
Right.
So China probably is like, okay, well, we like this oil. Here's some drones to protect your oil fields,
Or blow them up.
right? Whatever. I mean,
Sorry,
I don't
but
know.
what were you saying, Pete?
I don't remember.
Oh, okay.
Uh, Something about, oh, it might have been Russia as well. You know, the battlefield in Iran is sort of a Russia/China thing. I mean, yeah, it reaches unfortunately pretty far.
Yeah, it's funny. China stopped immediately when we started bombing Iran. They immediately ceased all military operations around Taiwan
Yeah, they
because
don't want to make it look like, hey,
yeah, we're
they
using this opportunity to go take Taiwan because that could
right.
start World War III.
Well,
That
also that they're smart enough to not open up two fucking battlefields at once. They're, I mean, all the shit around Taiwan was saber rattling anyway, and now that a real war started, they're done with Taiwan for now. They're going to go over to Iran.
Do you think China is positioning anything around Iran?
Yeah, that's
I
why they pulled out of Taiwan, obviously.
I just hadn't heard anything about that.
They're sending them missiles, as far as I've heard,
Okay.
and just regular warheads and whatever, just ammo, as far as I
China,
know.
yeah, and China's pretty smart from what I can tell. Like they're not going to. They don't want the United States to think that we're at war with China. Like that's the last thing they want, because we would wipe the floor with them. Like they don't want to be in war. And I think, like you said, that's another reason why they pulled out of Taiwan is they don't want this mess, right? They don't want to have anything to do with a real war with USA. They don't want that. So they don't even want to look like they don't even want to they don't want to piss us off in any way. So yeah, they immediately pulled out of Taiwan. They're like, oh, just kidding, we're not serious about anything. But I still think they are going to help Iran the best they can, because if we take over Iran,
They don't get the oil.
we're gonna,
They lose
yeah, well,
20% of it. That's a big hit.
yeah, we'll force them to price the
You,
oil in
I
dollars
mean,
again,
that's
and really that's what it's, the economic war more than anything
well, and
else. Like
that's yeah,
China
that's
wants to end the U.S. dollar dominance.
They're winning that economic war, by the way.
Mm,
They're
not
using like $30,000 drones to take out $1.1 billion radar
right, right.
installations.
There. Okay. Yes. There's the actual like economics of the actual battlefield. What I'm talking about is just macroeconomics. Period. Like China. How do I say this? China. So we have the petrodollar, right? The reason the dollar is so strong is because everything is priced in dollars since World War II, and all Middle Eastern oil is priced in dollars since
Bretton Woods.
Bretton Woods is World War II. The oil agreement was in the 70s with OPEC, um, and Nixon got OPEC to agree to price their oil in dollars in exchange for USA military protection. And that helps to prop up the value, the purchasing power of the dollar internationally. It helps keep the dollar as the world reserve currency, even though the dollar is no longer backed by gold. It's, that's why they call it the petrodollar. Like it's backed by oil, and it's not directly backed by oil. It's really backed by trade.
And our
And so
military.
there's a demand, and then also those countries are also encouraged to not only sell their oil priced in dollars, but also to save in dollars in U.S. government
T-bills.
bonds, right? Treasury bills, and Iran has not been doing that, which is why we're bombing them. But if the United States succeeds in making Iran a friendly to the United States country, then the new Iran will likely price their oil in dollars and will likely save in treasury bills, and the dollar will get even stronger.
Well, and
And
they
China
may
does
they
not want
they may not sell to China.
and they might not sell to
So
China at all.
I still think that
Any of
that's
those things.
why. I think that that's what this is about. I mean, you say it's because they're not pricing their oil in dollars. That may piss us off, but I think the reason we started going hot is because we are in a war with China, and
A trade war, like an economic, like
we are in several wars if you want to
who's the
classify it
world
that way.
reserve currency, who is the dominant world trade partner. All those things have been the United States, but China has become more of a worldwide trading partner than we have recently in the
And
last 20 years.
yep. So we are at war on several fronts with China, and the one that I think matters the most is, according, or at least to the powers that be, this is my guess, is the AI war, right? Like that's the
Yep.
one that's going to determine, victory going forward. And so we're hitting China right now by taking away their energy, because
Yep.
like
I
everybody
agree.
else is determined, like energy is the stopgap for this AI, revolution. It's not.
Which is not
It's
going to work because China has more solar panels than the rest of the world combined.
Right. It,
but
I
but
think
but
the
but
issue
that's
is
not
if we
enough. That's not enough.
Oh,
if
they're
we
making more.
They can cover
Jack,
they can cover the
last
entire
year,
surface of China and solar panels, and it won't be enough. Like
uh
they are
Jack,
floating arrays out onto water to so that they can cover more ground with them. But my point, and they eventually that will be enough. But right now it isn't. Like right now
correct.
it's not
That,
enough.
that is
right.
true. That is true.
Yeah,
And so
yeah.
like
So
that's
any, I
that's why
mean,
we're hitting Iran now. That's why we're
Yes.
fine with the Strait of Hormuz getting mined, because it isn't oil that's hurting us, right?
Right.
It
yeah.
might hurt some of our friends, and that's why we were like, hey, we'll cover your ships and we'll whatever. We don't want the Strait of Hormuz closed. But in the end, it's China that hurts the most by having that close.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and Pakistan and probably India. Um,
India for sure. But
Pakistan's, I mean, they're already like uh, telling people to work from home so they don't spend gas. I mean, it's
mhm.
it's already
Oh,
bubbling.
like what is it? The largest 1 week spike in the price of oil in history? Like
Yeah,
it's significant.
Yes, and it's the largest supply shock in history as well, in terms of barrels,
Hmm.
like something like 20 million barrels per day is interrupted by this,
Hmm.
whereas in past
I think
like
it's I think it's
wars,
I think it's 40 actually.
sure,
40 million.
I think in past wars it was like 6 million barrels a day were interrupted in several different Middle East wars. This one's 20 or 40. A lot more.
Yes, Saudi Aramco they had a pipeline that went from Saudi Arabia to Egypt that they had either not completed or turned off, and they're turning that back on to kind of bypass the Strait of Hormuz. So unfortunately, that's only like 7 million barrels per day or whatever. Like, it's just like
Yep.
the Strait
It's
of
a
Hormuz is 20% of the oil in the world goes
World,
through
yeah.
there.
yep.
It's not. It's no joke.
Yeah.
It's a lot of oil.
No, it's the largest oil bottleneck on the planet.
Yep.
Yep. And
And
three,
now
what
the
is it?
Red Sea
Three
is
ships
probably
got
going to
hit
be
last night
yeah.
in the Strait. I mean, like it's the first ones that they've actually like hit. So it's it's
It's a
become
mess.
yeah, it's become a legitimate issue now.
Yeah.
It's before it was
But
like
hey, we just took over Venezuela, so we don't have to worry. We got plenty of oil.
well, and that's still true. Like we're a net exporter. We weren't going to be like this doesn't hurt us. Like we're selling
Right.
oil, right? Like we've got
I think
more
that's the
than we
plan.
need. Yeah, that's I
Yeah.
believe it to be is
I think
hurt.
that was Trump's whole deal. Oh, we don't need to worry. Screw those guys,
Yeah,
right?
we look at all these tankers we just seized.
Yeah.
We don't care. And by
Yeah.
the way, we're set up to process what do they call it? Heavy crude. Like we don't need the sweet crude that's in Iran. I mean, it would be better, like, but we're not actually set up to process it here. Like,
The issue is like there's all these people that we have like investments in the UAE, Qatar, Bahrain, Saudi Arabia, Kuwait, and they're just toast. They can't even do anything. Like it is, and there's people stuck there, right?
yeah.
I know people.
Hmm.
Um, it's really messed up.
It is a mess, but that's I if you're a follower of Ray Dalio, uh, and I believe this, like if there's going to be a hot war with China, it's in the U.S.'s best interest to do it sooner than later.
Yeah.
The longer that we wait, the closer they catch up, and that is their
Yep.
goal. That is their explicit goal. They want to
Yep.
be just as powerful as we are.
Yep.
So, it's, we're headed for a reckoning with China regardless. And my opinion is like, I'd rather have it while we have a severe tactical advantage. And so that's why I think that's why this particular lunatic president, this particular president is
You
is
don't need to.
is well, I know, but anyways,
What I
that's
really
why
hope
he's like, let's drop the bombs now, because he sees that too. And lunatic narcissist that he may be, like, the dude's a
Yeah, the
shark.
issue with that is they was not planned at all, and it's just going to end up with massive inflation.
Oh, I
You know
know.
what I
It's
mean? It's
it's
going to
it's
print
gonna it's
Uncle
gonna
shitload of
it's
money.
gonna hurt the people the most. Of course, yeah. That's
and
it's.
we haven't shored up the United States hasn't shored up our supply chains yet.
I
Mm-mm.
know.
Like we don't have domestic production of iron, we don't have domestic production of aluminum, we don't have domestic production of
Actually,
copper.
we're actually there. We do actually, and
Not enough.
not
Like if
enough.
we're gonna have a war, like
Even
we don't
oil.
have a lot of the rare earths metals, we don't have refineries for those. Like there's a lot of shit that we would need if we were going to have a big ass war that we don't that that our supply comes from China, that we could make our supply on
Yeah,
our own, but
yeah,
we don't bother to because China does it so cheaply
yeah. The rare earths. I mean,
that
that's
we don't bother to do it ourselves. Like we have to build refineries, we have to build factories, we have to do all that before
Oh yeah,
we
I read article for my job. I read article after article every day. There's another $100 billion that X company is spending to build a new factory here in the United States.
good.
Sandusky, yeah, I mean it's happening like you wouldn't
Are
believe.
you those articles would be interesting to me, Jack? Are you getting those from that AI that you made?
No, well, no, those are just that's from a engineering periodical I subscribe to, but
Do you pay money to subscribe to that?
no, it's a free subscription. You can do it yourself.
Text me.
It's yeah,
Yeah, I want that.
thomasnet.com.
Okay.
But anyways, yeah. So like what I'm building is a data scraper that will read that particular website's articles each day, and plus other sources, and then I want to teach it to give me the ones that I think are most important. Kind of
Hmm.
filter out the ones that aren't as important to me, and give me the highlights of the ones that I think are. But anyways,
Hmm.
yeah. So they like that's something. and they're like I'm actually in talks with several companies that are what they do is they mine and process rare earth elements. Some of them, not no one company does like all the rare earths, right? Like usually they do four, five, six of them, right? And then there's other companies that do other ones. And there's one company though that their whole deal is that they are the only company in America that can now recycle things to collect the rare earths out of them. So that's their deal is that they've now started just like we extract all the rare earths out of the products that have already used them and that have gone into landfills for years. Now we collect them and we extract those rare earths back out of them. So like we are doing stuff to try to, you know, take back that's what Greenland was about really, is that there's a ton of rare earth up there. Canada is the same way, and in fact, I'm working with another company called Q2 Metals up in Quebec, and that's their whole deal is they're what exploration. So they're not a mining op, but they go and they are exploring, and there's a lot of reserves of stuff that we haven't found yet because we just haven't. It's too remote to look and stuff like that up in Canada. But yeah, we do manufacture tons of steel here, like an absurd amount of steel. Iron manufacturing is, yeah, there's a lot of it. But yeah, no, there's a lot of onshoring to do. And you're right, like America isn't really in a position to do that, but you know, we'd better we'd better start. So,
So yeah, so here's a new little tidbit. Apparently, Samsung and SK Hynix just went on high alert because ships are that carrying helium have stopped moving through the Gulf. So in other words, they don't have access to helium or won't have access to helium soon,
mm-hmm,
which apparently affects the chip industry.
mm-hmm, yep.
Uh, so yeah, that's mainly memory, which could be good for companies like, oh, I don't know, Micron. Talking my book a little bit here, but yeah, it's definitely an issue.
Gotcha. Well, hey, we've been on for a while, guys, and I think my wife's got dinner ready, so I should probably shut the stream down. I really appreciate Pete you jumping on with us, and John, it's always good, man.
Yeah,
Guys,
I'll try
well,
to be an expert on all things next week.
yeah, do better next week, dude.